Hello and welcome to Lantern Lane Stories. Tonight's story is Rebecca, the White House Raccoon. The autumn sun cast long shadows across the White House lawn on a crisp afternoon in 1926. The air smelled of turned earth and fallen leaves. Something very unusual was about to happen. A box arrived at the grand front door. Inside was a creature with a mask-like face and a striped tail, a raccoon from Mississippi. Her fur was thick and gray-brown, soft as if dusted with silver. She sniffed at the edges of the box, her small nose twitching, her eyes bright and curious. The staff gathered in a cluster. "This raccoon is meant for the Thanksgiving table," an aide explained in a low voice. It was tradition, after all. The cook was already thinking of recipes. But First Lady Grace Coolidge heard the words. Her footsteps sounded clear against the marble floor as she came downstairs. Her dark dress rustled with each step. She looked into the box at the little creature at those black eyes, so curious, so alive. "Oh no," Mrs. Coolidge said softly. "We will not be eating this one." She reached down carefully. The raccoon did not pull away. Instead, her tiny hands, they looked almost like small human fingers, reached upward and touched Mrs. Coolidge's sleeve with surprising gentleness. "She is too clever for that," the First Lady whispered. Her voice was warm as the afternoon light. Too alive, too much herself. President Coolidge came to see what the commotion was. He stood in the doorway, looking at his wife and the raccoon together. "She's very playful," he told the waiting staff, though he sounded uncertain, as if he couldn't quite believe what he was saying. "Very well behaved, very interesting indeed. We should keep her. Perhaps the press can help us find her a name." The raccoon sniffed the air of the White House, the scent of old wood and wax, and all the people who lived there. She had no way of knowing that her life had just changed forever, that she had stepped across an invisible line from a cooking pot to a home. The weeks passed. Wind howled outside the White House windows. Winter came early and cold that year. The raccoon was given rooms in the executive mansion. She was given food, shrimp, persimmons, eggs, which she loved. The president and first lady found themselves watching her, constantly delighted by her every movement. By December, Christmas decorations hung in every room. Holly and green boughs filled the corridors with the sharp scent of evergreen. The temperature outside had dropped to freezing. On Christmas Eve, Mrs. Coolidge sat in a quiet room with a needle and thread in her hands. In her lap lay a soft collar, beautiful fine, embroidered with careful golden stitching. The words were clear, "White House Raccoon." The president stood beside her, looking over her shoulder. "A name?" he said quietly. "Have we finally chosen one?" "Rebecca," Mrs. Coolidge replied, tying off the final thread. "We shall call her Rebecca. Don't you think it suits her?" She smiled, and the president nodded. They brought Rebecca into the room. The raccoon was warm and slightly drowsy from the cold air outside. Mrs. Coolidge fastened the collar gently around her neck. Rebecca's clever fingers came up immediately, touching the embroidery, investigating this new thing. "There now," Mrs. Coolidge whispered. "You are Rebecca. You are home." She held the small creature close, the way one might hold a beloved cat, feeling the weight of her, the softness of her fur, the steady warmth of her body. Rebecca curled into the First Lady's arms, her mask-like face relaxed and peaceful. The president reached out one finger. Rebecca's small hand grasped it, her grip surprisingly gentle, her touch almost tender. "She's part of our family now," President Coolidge said into the quiet room, into the glow of lamplight and the cold darkness outside. "Completely and entirely." Rebecca's little chest rose and fell with steady breaths. The collar caught the light, golden and proud. Rebecca's favorite time of day came after dinner, when the light outside had faded to gray and purple. A maid would bring her to the president's washroom. Water would be drawn into the white bathtub, cool, clean water, filled just a little way up the smooth sides. A bar of white soap would be placed at the edge, waiting. Then Rebecca would be brought in. The raccoon's whole body seemed to wake up at the sight of it. Her eyes brightened. she descended into the water with the deliberate care of someone who understood the importance of the moment, who knew this was her sacred time. Her sensitive fingers found the soap immediately. What followed was pure joy, pure focus. Rebecca would wash the soap, rub it, spin it in her clever hands, watch the bubbles rise and pop. Her masked face concentrated like she was solving the greatest puzzle in the world. Sometimes she would lift the soap to her mouth as if to taste it, then think better of the idea and set it back in the water. The soap would slip through her fingers and she would chase it, working to capture it again. The water dripped down her dark fur, making it darker still, glossy and thick. Her breathing was quick with excitement. "She is the most particular little thing," Mrs. Coolidge would say, standing in the doorway, watching. "Such deliberate movements. She is not simply playing, she is thinking, she is asking questions with her hands." The minutes would stretch on, 30 minutes, 40. Sometimes even an hour, a maid reported. The whole household came to know this time, this quiet bath time. It became part of the rhythm of the White House itself. But Rebecca's curiosity did not end when the bathtub was drained. At night, when the household grew quiet, she wandered the White House halls on a soft leather leash, her sensitive nose working in every corner, every cupboard, every hidden place. She would find a light bulb, bright, interesting, smooth and round, and somehow with her clever fingers she would unscrew it. Staff would find bulbs loose throughout the mansion. Left in curious places, she would open cabinet doors that had been securely closed. She would unplant houseplants, gently removing them from their pots. That raccoon, the kitchen staff would sigh, shaking their heads. Into everything? Into absolutely everything. But the president and first lady only laughed, warm, real laughter that echoed through the halls. "She is curious," Mrs. Coolidge would say. "And what is wrong with curiosity? Perhaps we should be more like her. Perhaps we should ask more questions." Spring came to Washington with sudden warmth. The cold that had gripped the city in winter released its hold. The cherry trees along the Potomac turned pink and white, their petals falling constantly, drifting like snow onto the warming grass below. The White House held its annual Easter egg roll, a grand tradition going back decades. Children from all over the city came for the celebration. The lawn was soft and green. Laughter filled the air, the sound of children calling to one another, of eggs rolling down the slope of the grass, of pure joy. And there, walking at the president's side, was Rebecca. The raccoon was dignified in her harness and leash, the leather worn soft from wear. Her embroidered collar caught the spring sunlight, glinting gold. Her tail moved with steady rhythm as she walked, her small claws clicking softly against the ground. The president's hand was warm and steady against the leather strap. Children stopped what they were doing to stare. They pointed. Their voices rose in excitement and wonder. "Is that a real raccoon?" a girl asked, her hand covering her mouth in amazement. "This is Rebecca," President Coolidge said gravely, as if she were a dignitary of some importance, which in a sense she was. "She lives here at the White House with us. She is very particular about her bathing habits and very clever with her hands. She understands the world in her own way." Rebecca regarded the children with her masked face, neither shy nor bold. Simply present, simply herself. Photographers' cameras clicked and flashed. The light bounced off Rebecca's fur, caught the gleam of her collar. By the next morning, the newspapers would be full of pictures. Rebecca with the president, Rebecca with the first lady holding her like a cat, Rebecca being admired by visitors in the grand rooms of the executive mansion. Some of the White House staff still did not approve. They found her troublesome, all that chaos, all that mischief, all those open cabinets and unscrewed lights. But the president had made his position absolutely clear. Rebecca was not a guest. She was not temporary. She was family. Dusk, as the last children left the lawn and the light turned golden and soft, Rebecca sat in Mrs. Coolidge's lap by the window outside. The city of Washington slowly began to settle into evening. Lights came on one by one in houses all through the city, gentle, warm lights in the growing darkness. The night air carried the smell of turned earth and green growing things of spring, of possibility. Rebecca's small claws kneaded gently at the fabric of the First Lady's dress. Her eyes grew drowsy. Once she had been meant for a cooking pot for a table crowded with diners who would never know her name. Now, she was home. She was loved. She was Rebecca. And so Washington also slowly fell asleep goodnight.